Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. It's Friday, October 18th, 2024, and these are your unbiased updates. Israel kills the Hamas mastermind of the October 7th terror attack. Reaction from Joe Biden to Benjamin Netanyahu, and what happens from here. And which billionaire do you agree with? Elon Musk and Mark Cuban on the campaign trail with very different views on who should be our next president.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's Unbiased Updates.
Yahya Sinwar is dead.
Israeli forces have killed the man they say was the chief architect of the Hamas attacks on Israel on October 7th, 2023, which started the ongoing war in Gaza. They had been trying to get Yahya Sinwar for a year, describing him as, quote, a dead man walking in the days after Hamas's first attack. But it appears that while Israeli forces had been tipped off that Sinwar was in the Rafah area, troops just happened to come across Sinwar unknowingly during a battle, and it was not until later they realized they had killed Israel's most wanted man. The IDF released drone video of what appears to be Sinwar's final moments, showing a man with a wounded hand who they say is Sinwar sitting down in a destroyed building and throwing a piece of wood at the drone. He was found with a bulletproof vest, grenades, and 40,000 Israeli shekels. Israeli leaders, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, celebrated his killing as a settling of scores and said it could be a turning point.
While this is not the end of the war in Gaza, it's the beginning of the end. To the people of Gaza, I have a simple message. This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages.
U.S. officials are hoping with Sinwar out of the picture, a ceasefire can finally be reached between Israel and Hamas. President Joe Biden, who has already tried to broker ceasefire deals, seemed to have renewed hope when speaking to reporters in the wake of the news of Sinwar's death on Thursday.
So now it's time to move on to move toward a ceasefire, Gaza. I'm sure that we're moving in the direction that we're going to be in a position which I think better for the whole world. Respond to this war to end and bring the Palestinians home.
President Biden said he's sending Secretary of State Antony Blinken to Israel to help figure out what's next. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Israel will keep fighting until all the hostages from October 7th are free, and that it will keep control over Gaza long enough to ensure Hamas does not rearm. And while Sinwar's death has sparked optimism the war in Gaza will soon end, it won't end the fighting in the Middle East. Just this month, Israel opened a new front against the militant group Hezbollah in Lebanon after a year of trading cross-border fire. Hezbollah had been striking Israel as a show of solidarity with Hamas. In the wake of Sinwar's death, it announced a, quote, transition to a new and escalating phase in the confrontation with Israel. As the 2024 presidential campaign inches closer to its final 2 weeks, the candidates each garnered the support of two billionaire representatives to spread their message to voters on Thursday. SpaceX and Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who has appeared alongside Republican candidate, former President Donald Trump, at Trump rallies and events, held a town hall at a Pennsylvania high school near Philadelphia. Musk called on Pennsylvanians to register to vote and described the importance of the battleground state in this election.
You show what matters by your actions, not your words. And my actions are, I'm here, I'm in Pennsylvania, and I'm here for a very important reason, which is, I can't emphasize enough that Pennsylvania is, I think, the linchpin in this election. And this election, I think, is going to decide the fate of America, and along with the fate of America, the fate of Western civilization.
Meantime, Democratic nominee Vice President Kamala Harris called on Mark Cuban, NBA team owner and star of the TV series Shark Tank, to reach voters during a rally at a college campus in Wisconsin. In his address to the crowd, Cuban took aim at Donald Trump's trade policies.
Back in the 90s and the early 2000s, he was a little bit coherent when he talked about trade policy, and he actually made a little bit of sense. But I don't know what happened to him. The way he's been thinking about tariffs and trade now, something's a little bit lost. And now his trade policies, particularly with tariffs, are basically just gibberish.
As for the candidates themselves, they both made an appearance last night at the Al Smith Charity Dinner in New York City, which raises millions of dollars for Catholic charities and is a traditional stop for both parties toward the end of the election cycle. However, breaking from tradition, Vice President Harris did not appear in person. Instead, she sent in a video appearing alongside former Saturday Night Live star Molly Shannon, who reprised one of her famous characters.
The Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship.
Cool. Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Elliott. Mary Catherine Elliott. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
In his speech, former President Trump criticized Harris for not showing up to the event in New York, the first presidential candidate to do that since 1984.
And they will be. It's been a long tradition for both Democrat and Republican candidates for President of the United States to attend this dinner. It's a rule. You got to go to the dinner. You got to do it. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen to you from up there. You can't do what I just saw on that screen. But my opponent feels like she does not have to be here, which is deeply disrespectful to the event and in particular to our great Catholic community. Very disrespectful.
In a statement regarding her absence, the Harris campaign said the vice president would be campaigning yesterday and, quote, the campaign wants to maximize her time in battlegrounds this close to the election. The Texas Supreme Court halted the execution of a man sentenced to death for the 2002 murder of his 2-year-old daughter. A jury convicted Robert Roberson of killing the toddler in a case of shaken baby syndrome, which his attorneys, as well as Texas lawmakers and medical experts now say was based on faulty and outdated scientific evidence related to the diagnosis. The last-minute stay came just over 1 hour before Roberson's death warrant was set to expire. However, a legal battle is still ongoing, and a new execution date could be set after Roberson's potential testimony before Texas lawmakers next week. A House committee subpoenaed him on Wednesday as it reconsiders the lawfulness of his conviction. Now to the latest on the death of pop singer Liam Payne, who died after falling from a third-floor hotel balcony in Buenos Aires, Argentina on Wednesday. A preliminary autopsy report from the Argentinian Public Prosecutor's Office says Payne died of multiple traumas and internal and external bleeding. The autopsy found a total of 25 injuries on the singer's body suffered from the fall. The prosecutor's office has requested additional studies to help in the investigation. On social media, Liam Payne's bandmates from the group One Direction paid tribute to their friend in a joint statement on Thursday, saying this: "We're completely devastated by the news of Liam's passing. In time, and when everyone is able to, there will be more to say. But for now, we will take some time to grieve and process the loss of our brother, who we love dearly. The memories we shared with him will be treasured forever. For now, our thoughts are with his family, his friends, and the fans who loved him alongside us. We will miss him terribly. We love you, Liam." Liam Payne was 31 years old. The city of Phoenix, Arizona, is getting its first feel of fall, relatively speaking, after 21 straight days of record-breaking hot temperatures. From September 24th to this past Monday, the Weather Service recorded 19 new all-time highs, and 2 days tied previous records, all temperatures well into the triple digits. Parts of Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico have been gripped by the recent heat wave with unseasonably warm temperatures. More specifically, 10 to 20 degrees higher than normal for this time of year. A cold front, though, is expected to move in this weekend, cooling things down. Finally, this morning, you don't have to be in a Nicolas Cage movie to get your hands on an important document from American history. No, you just need millions of dollars. A rare copy of the U.S. Constitution went on auction Thursday night in North Carolina, with the winning bidder spending $9 million. The document was printed 237 years ago and is the only copy of its type believed to be privately owned. The copy of the Constitution was found 2 years ago when a property in North Carolina was being cleared out. The property was once owned by Samuel Johnston, the state's governor, in the 1780s. The document also came with a letter from George Washington asking for the Constitution to be ratified. And with that, we, the people of Straight Arrow News, are happy to tell you these are your unbiased updates for this Friday. We'll see you back here on Monday. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great weekend.